Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Texas Rangers franchise here on MLB The Show 21 and the MSM Sports Network. The Rangers and the Red Sox get ready to tangle in this episode as Texas is out to a league-best 20-9 start, and we look to keep it going against the pathetic Boston Red Sox, who have had just a terrible start to this season. They come in with just 8 wins. Now, as I show you the schedule and what the Rangers did last time out, basically recapping what's gone on since the end of April to the second week in May, I want to let you know that we are super close to getting 100 subscribers, and I really do appreciate all the support. I do plan on implementing some incentives down the line as we get towards maybe 150, maybe 200 subscribers. I'd love to maybe get you guys involved in the series, whether it's putting your name in as draft selections, as free agents, or maybe we start that once we get to my Madden series coming up this fall. As always, if you want to be a part of the action a little bit closer and interact with me and give me suggestions like that, either leave stuff down below in the comments or feel free to follow me on Twitter, which is linked down below as well, at MSMSports_. Well, you saw some of the division leaders and the statistical leaders as well, and one of the guys that has really jumped out at us is Randy Florentino. He truly is becoming a franchise catcher in a way that I've never seen in an MLB franchise. He's hitting .349 for us, and technically to this point is still a rookie. He didn't qualify for full MLB service time last season, and so this continues his rookie campaign, and he is blowing all other American League rookies out of the water. As you're going to see in just a second, he was the April American League Player of the Month when it comes to rookies, and I'm just super excited to see where he can go. I really think that his ceiling is much, much higher than any of the other catchers that I've ever had in MLB The Show. You see 4 home runs, 11 RBIs, and he hit .328. Also impressive, Ronald Acuna Jr. hit 11 home runs in the month. Just insane. You gotta look at the rest of the statistics, and we are pounding the ball out of the ballpark at a really cool rate. I mean, it's fun to see how powerful our lineup is. We rank 3rd in Major League Baseball in long balls right now. I believe we're 6th or 7th in total average and OBP. So we're right in the top 10 and really showing some promise. A guy that's leading that promising charge is Josh Young. Now, I know it's only .278 right now, but he's also shown pop at the plate. He's got a little bit of power and may be emerging as the franchise third baseman. JP Martinez also emerging as a guy who's thrown his name into contention for a corner outfield spot. I'm starting to think that we might be moving on from David Dahl or Tyler Naquin a little bit sooner than I had originally planned. Here's the pitching staff as well. Mackenzie Gore just got back from his injury, and basically there's nowhere to put him in the starting rotation, so he's a long reliever for right now. He also could get sent down to AAA if he continues to struggle, but it's very, very early on in the season. A guy who's not struggling is Craig Kimbrell, who has yet to allow a run through 8 1/3 innings. He's got 14 strikeouts to just 3 walks. As we get into today's game between the Red Sox and the Rangers, it's a series opener. The Bo Sox just 8-21. It's one of the franchise worst starts in their history. The Rangers are out to one of the best starts in franchise history as Wes Benjamin takes the mound, 2-1 with an ERA sub 3. And the first batter that he would face was Bryan Reynolds, batting .270, and that's going up. Bryan Reynolds, a no-doubter into the second deck in left field, and 3 pitches into the ballgame, the Red Sox have a lead. Now, as I dove into the Red Sox stats in preparation for this game, they haven't gotten blown out in a bunch of their games. In fact, they're losing a lot of close ones, but the issue for the Red Sox has been consistent offense late in games. Maybe Bryan Reynolds is tired about having to worry about offense late in games. If you score in the first inning, your likelihood of going on to win that game goes up exponentially. But Wes Benjamin right back to work. He strikes out Martinez on a filthy curveball. And 2 batters later, it would be Rafael Devers who flares this one off the end of the bat into left field. Just 1 run allowed for the Rangers, but the Red Sox take an early lead as Danny Duffy toes the rubber. the veteran southpaw on the mound, and he wasn't exactly finding his spot here in the first inning. He gets away with a high fastball that David Dahl pops up. Next batter, Josh Young. Again, right down the middle with a changeup, but hit right at third base, and Young becomes the second out of the inning. How about Trevor Story? He grounds this one, looking to go up the middle. KK Hernandez, though, with a nice play, and he throws out Story to end the inning. The Rangers go in order. Matt Olson leading off the top of the second inning, and on the first pitch, he gets a hanging slider deep out towards left center field. That one bounces off the track and into the Red Sox bullpen. Just like that, Boston has an early runner in scoring position. Next batter would be Hunter Renfrow. Hard ground ball to shortstop and a nice backhanded pick by Trevor Story. There's one out for KK Hernandez, who checks his swing here. A great job to make sure he doesn't strike out on the 0-2 fastball. As Benjamin back to the mound. 195 the average, and Hernandez may be showing why he's off to a little bit of a cold start to this season. He chases the curveball in the dirt. Great job by Florentino blocking that ball and then checking to see if the runner was going from second before snapping that throw down to first base. Well, speaking of Florentino, we talked about him ad nauseum in the opener. Here he is, his first at-bat of the night, and a 2-2 pitch ripped to deep right field, but it's caught on the dead sprint by Renfrow for the second out. Ketel Marte, the final chance in the bottom of the second inning for the Rangers, and down in the count 0-1 is Duffy working exclusively out of the stretch, misses outside with a fastball. Count 1-1, gets back ahead with a high fastball here, and Marte down in the count. 1-2, the 19th pitch of the evening on its way from Duffy, and a hanging slider, belted deep towards left field. Going back is Martinez. He's looking up at the wall. This one's gone. Onto the concourse as Ketel Marte exits stage left, and Texas has tied the ball game off a 409-foot shot from the Ranger center fielder. Ketel Marte has certainly caught fire with the bat as of late, and his power has also increased. Tyler Naquin, not a stranger to hitting home runs in this series, flares this one out to left field. A dive from Martinez. It's off his glove, and the throw not in time. Naquin gets hyper-aggressive, and he dives headlong into second base with a double. What a play here from Tyler Naquin. He didn't hit that ball all that hard, but Martinez, certainly not a Gold Glove caliber outfielder, not able to make the Herculean effort, and it puts a runner in scoring position. JP Martinez with 2 outs, ground back up the middle. Xander Bogaerts can't make the play, and the Rangers have runners at the corners now with 2 outs. Sam Huff, he's been struggling mightily this season. 156, the average coming in, and it's going to keep going down as Huff strikes out on a high slider. The Rangers tie it up, but can't do any better. Top of the third, Michael Chavis, the ice horse. Ice cold on that swing as he misses, and Wes Benjamin's got the strikeout pitch working. He'll face JD Martinez. A couple batters later, 0-2 count on the Red Sox slugger, and a weak ground ball out to second base, and look who that is. It's Willie Calhoun playing a little infield for the Rangers. Basically, I wanted to get JP Martinez into the ballgame, but I didn't want to take David Dahl or Tyler Naquin out. So Willie Calhoun gets a little second base action. His native position originally. How about another native infielder? Josh Young, deep out to left, into the Red Sox bullpen. Josh Young, his 3rd home run of the season, and Texas takes the lead over Danny Duffy and the Red Sox. What a job by Young he's doing this season. Really laying claim to an everyday starting spot. I've got him alternating between 2nd and 3rd right now because Solak and Kiner Falefa have been so dreadfully cold to start this season, and Young certainly seizing that opportunity. Willie Calhoun, another chance to field his position here. He throws out Xander Bogaerts, and with 1 out in the inning, it was Rafi Big Scoops to the plate. Another weak tapper up the middle, and Trevor Story makes a nice play as Wes Benjamin settling in, trying to get some weak contact here in the middle frames and protect that 1-run lead. But Matt Olson, he took him into left center field for a double last time. He scalds this one into right field, and he's 2 for 2 on the day. Next batter, Hunter Renfrow, a little perfect contact, a laser into left field, and the Red Sox are threatening here in the top of the 4th. Kike Hernandez, the next batter. Full count offering, and a fastball left right down the middle. The ball will go all the way to the wall, and both runners come around to score. Hernandez gives the Red Sox a brand new lead. It's 3-2 in the top, as Hernandez had come in very sluggish at the plate, but he pays it off right there. Thankfully for the Rangers, Jorge Alfaro, the former Ranger farmhand, strikes out swinging, and the damage is capped off at 2 runs in the inning. Bottom of the 4th now. Texas trying to get that back. Randy Florentino starts the rally as he goes right back up the box. Florentino's approach at the plate is way beyond his simple 1 year at the big league level. In fact, he doesn't even have a complete season at the big league level. Again, as I mentioned, just about 50 games or so with the big club. But that hasn't fazed him so far, and it's not phasing Ketel Marte either. New team, new threads, but the offense continues to churn out of our center fielder, and that would put 2 runners on for Tyler Naquin. Naquin, ground ball up the middle. Hernandez steps on the bag at second, throw to first, out of his hip pocket, and he turns 2. A 4-3 double play, and it makes it 2 outs and a runner on third. The last chance for the Rangers is J.P. Martinez in the inning, and he draws a 3-0 count. With Sam Huff on deck, Martinez likely gets the green light here as Duffy fires, and it's a ground ball up the middle. Bogarts to his left. He dives, but with the speed at first, there's no chance of a play, and the Rangers tie it up at 3. There's a chance that Sam Huff might be playing his final games as a Texas Ranger, at least for a little bit, as his offense has just been so bad that I can't count on him. I really am thinking about sending him down, but the problem is I don't know who I naturally bring up in his place. That's a discussion for a different time, though, as this one belted deep out to right field off the bat of Bogarts, but it's tracked down by Tyler Naquin. The veteran showing he can play a little bit of defense still, and the Rangers get out of the 5th inning unscathed. We go to the 6th, and it's Rafi Big Scoops to the plate. Nice play here by Sam Huff. Boy, throw that on SportsCenter. The behind-the-back flip to first. His offense may not be anything special, but that was a golden defensive play. And Matt Olson follows it up with a strikeout. Looking, Benjamin, not his sharpest early on, but 6 strikeouts in this ballgame. Looking for a 7th now against Hunter Renfrow. Down in the count, 1-2. Benjamin winds, fires, and he tied him in knots. Like in Auntie Anne's pretzel at the food court, Benjamin threw 6 complete, and the Rangers will go to the bottom half. Randy Florentino again to the plate. 1 for 2 today, and he's going to double dip. A scorching line drive into the right center field gap. Florentino pulls into second base with his 5th double of the season, and that would be the end of Danny Duffy's days. He started strong early, got away with some mistake pitches, and yet still isn't going to get through 6 complete. The Red Sox turn to the former starter, Steven Matz, the former Mets prospect, and immediately he doesn't help himself as Matz walks Ketel Marte after battling to a 3-2 count. Tyler Naquin now the next batter. He shoots this into left field, but with no speed in Florentino, the Rangers throw the brakes on, and the bases are loaded with nobody out. J.P. Martinez digging into the plate now. Martinez 2 for 2 tonight, and even 300 average with runners in scoring position. The full count pitch is fouled off as Matt's working away. Now seeing if he can come inside. 3-2 pitch. Fisted into left field. That'll drop in front of the outfielder. Here's the throw to the plate. Marte slides, and he's safe. Texas scores 2 on a 2 RBI single from J.P. Martinez, and it was a good pitch from Matz. It ran inside, maybe leaked out just a little too far over the plate, and Martinez dunks it into left field. Texas with a 2-run advantage. As you see, Sam Huff comes to the plate, wastes a hanging changeup that was right over the plate, and there are 2 outs. Josh Young, a chance to add more insurance runs, and one of the least impressive swings I've seen on the game so far. Good timing on a changeup right down the middle, and the ball goes 2 feet. We go to the next inning. Archie Bradley on 2.19 ERA, and Bradley 1-0 this season for Texas. Remember, we had that debate over whether or not we should pick up his option in the offseason, and in the end, we elected to ultimately do it. So far, it's paid dividends, but Jorge Alfaro goes deep out to right center field, and that one ends up in the Rangers bullpen. It's a ground rule double for the former Ranger catcher, and it brings up Bryan Reynolds once again. He homered to start the ballgame, and he's going to provide a little bit more help here. This one right back up the middle into center field. Marte comes up throwing, but it's late and up the first base line. Boston whittles the lead down to just one. JT Martinez, the next hitter. He's 0 for 3 today and looks at a fastball there to make it 2-1. Martinez, runner on first, trying to tie the ballgame. Weak chopper up the middle. Calhoun to his right, fields it on the backhand, flips to shortstop, and a great play to get out of the inning. We fast forward to the 8th as the Red Sox keep the Rangers off the board, and it's Brett Martin who comes on. Another pitcher who we debated keeping or maybe letting walk, and ultimately we chose to retain him, putting him through arbitration. Again, so far seems to be a great move by our front office, and he gets the first out. Bogarts a hard ground ball out to Yanni Hernandez, who's come on as a defensive replacement. Next batter, Rafael Devers, ground ball, third base. What a play there by Josh Young, throwing all the way across the diamond to get the second out of the inning. Matt Olson, one of the biggest bats in this lineup, he'll roll over on the 1-2 pitch, and it's another scoreless outing for Martin the southpaw. Bottom of the 8th, Texas has a chance to add some insurance against Dylan Floro. 2 outs though. Trevor Story robbed by Matt Olson. Diving play, the flip to Floro covering. What a web gem from the Red Sox, and it ensures just a 1-run lead heading to the top of the 9th as you get another look. Full extension from the former Gold Glover when he was in an Oakland A's uniform. I'm glad we don't have to see him 19 times a season wearing the Kelly green and gold. Well, it's Craig Kimbrell on for the save. He's been flawless this season so far, and that continues here. He gets the 3-pitch strikeout of Hunter Renfrow, 1 down. Kike Hernandez next up, down in the count 0-1, and a hanging curveball that he's late on. Popped out to shallow right field. 2 outs here in the inning as Kimbrell looks to lock down the 9th inning once again for Texas. The final batter, Jorge Alfaro, weak pop-up in the left field, and Texas will take the opener over the Boston Red Sox. They win this one by the final score of 5-4. Texas off to one of the hottest starts in franchise history. They are now 21-9 through their first 30 games and own the best record in all of Major League Baseball. There's a lot of baseball left to play here in 2023, but it certainly feels like Texas is built to contend this season, and I'm happy to be along for the ride. Simulating ahead through the rest of the Boston series, and the Rangers take 3 of 4. We walked off the Red Sox in the bottom of the 10th inning in Game 2. David Dahl with the game-winning RBI, but maybe the more dramatic moment was in the bottom of the 9th with the Rangers trailing 2-1 and down to their final 2 outs. Trevor Story hit the game-tying home run. Story also played the hero in the next day as the Rangers found themselves down 2-0 in the bottom of the 8th, but the Rangers rallied. Trevor Story, a pinch hit grand slam in the bottom of the 8th, followed up with an RBI from Isaiah Kiner-Falefa, and the Rangers won 5-2, shocking the Red Sox and sending them to 8-23. However, the Rangers do fail to get their first sweep of the season as the Boston Red Sox claim the finale in extra innings 5-4. They move to a pathetic 9-24, and Texas to 23-10. Well, in the next episode, we're going to get through the rest of the month of May, and I know this is a big chunk of games to simulate. What I'm going to do is I'll end up including some highlights as I move through these games. I think I'm going to quick manage a lot of these, and I might play a game in the Toronto series, but primarily I want to get into the month of June where we take on teams like the Dodgers, the Angels, the Padres, and so on. We've been at home for the vast majority of this season, and I want to find a road game or two to play, and I think this Dodgers series, maybe even the Astros series, might make for a good next episode. As I explained in the tweet and earlier in this episode, I've been working like crazy right now, so I apologize for the slowness in the uploads. 2 episodes a week isn't exactly what I want to be doing, but right now it's all the time that I have to do. So I do appreciate everything that you guys have given me as far as support. We are on the road to 100 subscribers, and we are so close to it. As some of my followers have indicated, they would be interested in possibly throwing their names in if we can reach a certain milestone, whether that's 150 subscribers or maybe even further down the road. I'm not exactly sure, but there is a potential for your name to appear on a draft prospect, a free agent signing, or maybe even we move that project into the Madden series that I'm planning to do once we get there. Thank you guys so much for all your support and subscribing. Until next time, so long, everybody.